Elliott Reeder here, being joined by Ashton Storey of the Mississippi College women's soccer team. Lady Choctaws about to head into the GSC tournament, where they'll be the 2 seed and take on 7 seed Christian Brothers Lady Bucks. So Ashton, y'all just wrapped up the regular season. Didn't end the way y'all wanted to, as y'all came up short against West Florida. But before that, y'all had gone 10 straight unbeaten. So just looking back at the regular season as a whole, how do you view the regular season, and how do you think y'all are going into the GSC tournament? Like, what form are y'all in right now?
Yeah, the regular season was, I think, very good for us. We were finishing really well this season, had lots of goals, which is always so fun to be a part of a team that scored lots of goals. So that was really good. We had some unfortunate losses, so I think that kind of fuels us going into the tournament to hopefully get some revenge and hopefully win some games when it actually matters.
So y'all are going into the tournament, and y'all are playing Christian Brothers, which is a team that y'all beaten already once this year. So, going into a matchup against a team for a second time, like, how does that change y'all's motivation and preparation going into a matchup for the second time?
I mean, I think it's important to still respect a team that we've already beaten. I think we can sometimes slip into, like, oh, that might be like an easier opponent since we've beaten them, but we have to remember to still respect them and still remember that this is a very important game and they're going to be coming out flying because, we beat them pretty bad, so they might be wanting some revenge also. So we just have to keep that in mind and remember that it's not going to come easy for us, so we just have to step out on the field and do what we know how to do.
And Christian Brothers is led by one of the top goal scorers in the conference, in Cheyenne Smith, and is a defensive midfielder and is a part of that defensive unit. What kind of challenge does she bring, and what do y'all need to do as a defensive unit to kind of try to hold her in check?
Yeah, she is a big threat on that team, and being a defensive mid, I was marking her a lot in our past game, and it's just one of those players that you just always have to be aware of where she is and just never turn off in the game. You always be aware because she's always a threat wherever she is on the field.
And so as a player, you're coming out of Germantown in the Memphis area, and you're playing Christian Brothers out of Memphis, and there's a lot of girls on that team from the Memphis area, I think 6 from Memphis surrounding areas. What is that like, playing against a team like in your area and against a lot of girls that you grew up in the same area as them?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Actually, Cheyenne, who you talked about, I played with her in an adult league this summer. So it's interesting going up against her, and played club with a lot of the girls. So I don't know, it just makes it more fun for me, like knowing who they are and just seeing a familiar face.
And so looking at the GSC tournament as a whole, what's y'all's goal going into the tournament, and maybe even further looking at NCAAs? If y'all make it out yesterday, y'all are 5th in the initial region rankings. And so what's kind of y'all's goal moving in, heading towards the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, well, definitely to win the tournament. That's our #1 goal right now, and that would give us an automatic bid into the national tournament, and then hopefully go as far as we can in that tournament. But right now we're definitely focused on winning the GSC. That would be just an awesome accomplishment, and I think we're capable of doing it.
And so, Ashley, you just kind of look at your season this year individually. How do you kind of view your season as a whole as an individual, and what are kind of your individual goals moving into this year, and then maybe even looking for next year in your final year of eligibility?
Yeah, it's been cool, like stepping into my role more and more each year and becoming a, I think, bigger part of the team every year. And so I think right now I'm focused on just playing with as much confidence as I can, and knowing that I've gone up against all these teams before. I know what it takes. Just hoping to bring that experience and leadership on the team whenever I can.
And so thank you, Ashton, for joining us. And as I mentioned, the Lady Choctaws this weekend will take on Christian Brothers on Sunday at 1 o'clock in the GSC quarterfinals.